if you want to enter into the equity research industry and already working in the industry, this podcast is for you. In this podcast, we are going to talk about all from the journey from college graduate to pursuing professional degrees and then like working in the industry and um, gaining experience in like real companies, analyzing real companies, working in market and all. So, hi guys, I'm Prince Shure. I'm the founder of the Life of Choice, and we are building a community of people, of finance professionals, where they can grow 10x in their career. So, and today's podcast is very special because I have with me Neil Otswal, who is working in one of the top AMC and is here to share his experience and his learnings with you all. So, over to you, Neil. Neil, first introduce yourself to our audience, and then we'll begin with the Q&A sessions. Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely. Thanks for having me in this session, Prince. Uh, basically, I work as a equity research analyst. I track the power, utilities, and capital goods sector at Bajaj Finserv Asset Management, and currently based out of Pune, from where we operate. So I've spent 3.5 years in this current role, doing equity research, and I was part of the team that was, kind of instrumental in establishing Bajaj Finserv Asset Management. So I was the seventh person who joined the team, initially. So much before the launch of our first product, when we were in the setting up phase, applying for the SEBI license, setting up all the processes, working on the first product and the first set of products. That right from that day, right from that period where we were kind of a very startup kind of AMC to today when Bajaj has reached more than 27,000 crore. It's been a very good journey for me. Uh, Before that, I've done my MBA from IIM Kozhikode, and out of campus, I happened to join Bajaj Group. I'm also a chartered accountant. I have completed one level of my CFA program. And Other than that, outside of work, I of course like to follow the markets, like to follow cricket, like to read various books, to stay up to date about various geopolitical events happening around the world. So yeah, that's about me, I think.
Great, Neil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
broadly, yes.
So before going forward, I'll go a few steps backwards now. So how it all started? From the childhood, you wanted to go into the finance industry or what kind of thing? So how you choose CA? Whenever I conduct these podcasts, I also ask how you choose the profession. So why CA first of all?
Correct. Unfortunately, I don't have a very logical answer to, why CA. So basically, I belong to a family of chartered accountants. So my
Okay.
father is a chartered accountant. My bade papa happens to be a CA, and my sister was also pursuing CA. So when I was completing my 10th, the choice was between science and commerce broadly. These were the two things in my mind. And I knew I was a pathetic student of mathematics. So then the choice was pretty clear that science was not something that I could handle too well. Commerce it was. And then after that, I entered Narsee Monjee College, from where I've done my BCom. So everybody around me happened to be pursuing CA. So it was a batch of, I don't know, 1,200, 1,100, 1,200 odd people. And I think 900 to 1,000 of those had enrolled for CA. So
Okay.
it was basically, it was the natural choice for people in Narsee Monjee College to pursue CA. So I also happened to pursue CA, filled the form like everybody of my friends. And but I wouldn't advise people to do it in such a way. I think it's very important to analyze. And these days you have, you know, different kinds of evaluation tests, different kinds of aptitude tests to kind of measure where you fit in terms of career. What are your key skill sets? What are the careers that align with your key skill sets? I think it's very important to have that evaluation. Luckily for me, I happen to do reasonably well in CA, and later on, continued to work in the finance industry going ahead. But having said that, not an ideal way of kind of beginning your career. But that was how I enrolled for CA. And then of course, uh, through hard work and uh, through the support of people around me, through my coaches, my mentors, my teachers, all of them helped me get through my CA and then make the other choices in my life as well.
Great, Neil, great. So I will summarize in 2 points. Neil is following college and family traditions by being a CA. Okay,
That's true.
great. So one point I just noticed from his talk, like he said, ki alignment with your key strength is very important. So that's our matlab, major focus area is like whenever we talk in our communities, does anyone want to be equity research analyst? Why? Why you want to be that? Matlab, are your skills?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes. Does your
Mhm,
skills
mhm,
align with that profile or not? Because there are certain personality traits you need to have. You might be very well fit in somewhere else, but you should be
mhm,
aware
mhm.
of that qualities of yours as well. So great point now. So the second question, I'll try to connect the dot from the CA journey to like you move to do your MBA. So why MBA after CA? Combination बनाना है CA CFA MBA का deadly combination. Yeah.
So वैसा तो कोई plan नहीं था. I didn't want it to be a combination of degrees. I would love to have just one degree. But the thing was ki, like I had mentioned earlier, that CA was not the most natural thing that I wanted to do. I mean, it was more of something that I had done because others were doing it. So once I was done with my CA, I had this entire discussion with myself. I had a deep introspection as to what I really want to do in life. Because now that I've done with my, BCom, my main postgraduate degree, which is CA, I have that degree in hand. Now there were many different options, open in front of me. I could pursue a career in taxation, a career in auditing, or, something in terms of financial reporting, that these are the core areas that normally chartered accountants go on to work. Of course, there are other areas as well, but these were, some of the more natural things that would come to you after chartered accountancy. But the question in my mind was really whether I want to do these, make a career in these things or not, in these streams or not, whether it's audit, taxation. And basically, when I analyzed my skill set, I was basically, of course, numbers was part of my CA journey, and I was, decently strong at analyzing numbers. I could do, I could crunch numbers fairly okay. But that was not my biggest strength. But you know, a deeper understanding of the world, following, like I mentioned earlier, following geopolitical events, being up to date about economies, international relations, articulating things, writing stuff. These were, communication. These were also some of the skills that I wanted to, these were also my strong points. So these were the skills that I also wanted to use, in my career. So basically, then analyze that number crunching plus, articulation, communication, writing, where would, these skills be best put to use? That's how the thought of an MBA came up. So I
Okay.
decided that I really don't want to be doing auditing and taxation at this stage of my life, wherein only number crunching is involved. But that is the core, like 80% of your skill set is basically number crunching.
Right.
So I wanted to have a mix of, both of these skills, number crunching as well as articulation, writing, communication. So MBA appeared to be the natural choice. Then what I did was I discussed it with some of the seniors who were pursuing MBA, some who had already graduated and were, working in post MBA roles. I talked to other coaches, mentors, even some chartered accountants, to gain an understanding of how an MBA would be different from just a CA plus MBA would be different from just a CA. What kind of roles would I be eligible for going ahead in my career? I analyzed those roles, whether those, basically roles like, basically strategy, investment banking, consulting, corporate finance, these kind of roles, whether they align with my interests. And I thought that they align more with my interest as compared to, core auditing, taxation. And that's how I made up the call that I want to do an MBA. Of course, after MBA, whether I want to be part of strategy, whether I want to be part of consulting, corporate finance, investment banking, equity research, I didn't know that at that point of time. But at least I knew that MBA would be something wherein, post MBA roles would be something where I would be able to use my skill set better. And that's how I enrolled for an MBA. Happened to register for the CAT. thankfully I got a percentile wherein I could get calls from some of the top IIMs and converted IIMK, and that's how I happened to land up at IIMK.
Great, Neil. So one point I just noticed that you said key introspection, a lot of introspection you did about what are your skills and where you want to go. So it
Absolutely.
is one of the very one of the good thing about a person that when someone analyzes that where actually he wants to go. And if we see around us now, many of the people are just following the herd. What everyone is doing, we are doing.
Absolutely.
So they don't analyze like what they are good at. So that's
Hmm.
very important part, and it sets the foundation for a good life as well. If you are happy with your work, you are living a great, good life. Okay, so
Very true.
how was
Very
the
true.
MBA experience? I've never been an MBA. Like, I never appeared for anything kind of that. So how was the MBA like college experience and all? Matlab, did you enjoy the college life thoroughly?
Absolutely. I think, see,
Yeah.
firstly, I would have to say that every experience, whether good or bad, gives you some kind of learning, some kind of lesson, some kind of
Right.
takeaway, uh, that you benefit from later in life. So I don't treat any experience as a good experience or a bad experience. I have
Okay.
something to take away from every experience. That's my way of looking at life. But those 2 years uh, were, one of the most fantastic years of my life. Although my MBA was disrupted and marred by COVID, which kind of impacted the experience to a certain extent. But yet, I think, uh, you know, these 2 years have given me numerous lessons, numerous takeaways that I will forever keep with me, forever cherish, as I grow in my career, as I progress further, even in my personal life. I think everywhere. So I think the kind of people you meet in an MBA, I think that's the biggest selling point of an MBA program. The
Yeah.
kind of people you meet. I mean, everybody comes from a very different background. You meet people from all parts of India. You meet people from different kinds of families, from business families, from people who have, who have salaried backgrounds, people whose, parents are working in the farms. So, I mean, very diverse kind of experiences that you learn from. Also very different ambitions, people who have very different reasons for MBA, people who have left the army to pursue an MBA, people who are doctors who are pursuing MBA. I mean, you've already achieved a lot in life before this, but still doing an MBA because there is hunger to do something more, to create something on of their own, or maybe to, different kinds of goals. I mean, some people
Right.
have startup ambitions. Some people want to end up in McKinsey, Bain, BCG. Some people want to make a career in finance, marketing. Some people just for the experiential value of an
Yeah.
MBA are here. So I mean, the people, not just the people, even I think the kind of professors that come to an IIM campus and some of the other top MBA programs, the kind of the way the course is designed. I mean, the case study format of learning wherein you participate actively in a classroom rather than just rote learning formulae and replicating them in an exam. Um, the extracurricular activities, the festivals, the late night projects, presentations that you work on at 3 a.m., the teamwork that you do. Sometimes you take the burden of the entire group. Sometimes you free ride and somebody else takes up the burden for you.
Right.
So it's a wonderful experience, and you really make some very good friendships as well. I mean, people who I think will you'll stay in touch with for life. Some really valuable friendships as well. So it's a combination of all these things, and of course, uh, I was also happy and lucky enough to get a good job out of campus as well. So I mean, you can see the amount of takeaways I have
Right.
from an MBA, and I have not even touched the surface. But for the sake of brevity, I think I would stop here.
Yeah, you are inspiring me to pursue that. Like the whole next level of experience, networking, people, connections, and friends, a diverse culture, and like amazing experience. So I'm finding it interesting. Okay, let me explore it after this or not. So you have done your MBA now. Now, how came about equity research? Idea of equity research. Why you choose equity research? Yeah,
Correct.
your turn.
Uh, yes, yes.
Yes.
See, so after my CA, actually, like when I had mentioned, about evaluating various career options. So auditing, taxation, corporate finance. At that time also, I had, considered joining equity research as a career option. And, even at that time, I had an inkling. I had some kind of, I had a kind of gut feel that this is a career, and I mean equity research, wherein basically you would need number crunching to analyze companies, to analyze financial statements of companies. Of course, you would also need communication articulation, because you have to convince somebody to buy the stock, right?
Right.
Either you're a buy side analyst or you're a sell side analyst. If you're a sell side analyst, you convince the buy side to, about your pitch, about your idea. If you're a buy side analyst, you convince your team, your fund managers, your CIO to,
Yes, right.
kind of have this investment in as part of your fund strategy, as part of your fund portfolio. So these are the two key skill sets, I think. Number crunching and appropriately communicating, appropriately pitching your idea. The research that you have done in a very articulate manner, so that people around you are convinced, and countering their questions, and then finally uh, convincing them enough to, so that they go ahead and uh, take the purchase decision. So these were the skill sets that I was aligned with. However, after an MBA, to be very frank with you, equity research was not the top thing on my mind. I
Okay.
went with a very open mind. Also, the thing is that we were in a very unusual year. It was the COVID year. My placements happened at the end of 2020 and early 2021, which was heavily, so recruitment that year was heavily impacted by COVID. A
Pandemic.
lot of recruit. Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Friends, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So recruitment that year was also impacted severe. A lot of recruiters had cancelled visiting campus because of COVID related hiring cutbacks and everything.
Right.
So it was not a year where I was at the liberty to choose my career कि मुझे तो यही करना है, and I really want to crack this kind of interviews. Certain companies that I wanted to be part of did not shortlist me. Certain companies did not visit campus at all. These were the companies where I had aspirations with. So I then went into the interview process with a very open mind. Uh, I had a plan A, plan B, plan C in mind, that I would choose a certain kind of role. I think at that point of time, I was more inclined to do either a strategy slash consulting kind of role, or investment banking kind of profile, which aligned with the kind of skill sets that I had from my CA days, as well as the learnings that I took out of MBA. So this was broadly the plan A and plan B in mind. However, fate had very different plans for me. So Bajaj Finserv came to campus. They did their atom case competition, and four of us we were part of a team from which represented IMK, and we happened to reach the national finals of this case competition.
Okay.
And of course, we didn't end up as the winner. We finished fourth in that competition.
Okay.
But everybody who was a national finalist was offered a pre-placement interview opportunity
Okay.
at Bajaj Group for their Young Leaders program, which is basically a general management program.
Okay.
So I happened to crack that interview, and I landed myself a job at Bajaj Finserv Group in their Group Young Leaders program as a management trainee.
Great.
So I was reasonably happy with my role, because this was a general management kind of program, which would allow me to explore different group companies, and allow me to do different projects within each group company. That was the kind of structure. Basically, you spend 8 months at each company, and
Okay.
there are three different stints of 8 months. So 8, 8, 8. Basically, you do 24 months across three group companies at Bajaj Finserv Group, and different projects. So it could be a operations related project, it could be a marketing related project, it could be strategy. So that would entirely depend on what you are comfortable with, as well as what are the projects available. So this is how I landed up at Bajaj Group, and I started my stint with Bajaj Finance, basically. And after I had done my first stint, which was more of a project management kind of role, then Bajaj was at that time looking to set up a mutual fund business. So at that time, it was just a team of 4 to 5 people who were just working, who were basically laying out the blueprint and doing the groundwork for setting up a mutual fund business,
Right.
because Bajaj was already present in on the lending side of things. Mutual fund was one area where Bajaj had was a late entrant. All the big Kotaks and ICICIs of the world having already established huge AUMs. Bajaj was a latecomer to the party. So I had a word with the program head that I wanted my next stint to be something in this mutual fund team. And I was fortunate enough that they gave me a role in the investments team here. Basically, our CIO, Mr. Nimesh Chandan, was setting up the investment team, and I was supposed to assist him in setting up the entire investment department, establishing the processes for the investment department, onboarding the vendors, deciding what would be the products, and back testing certain strategies, certain asset allocation strategies. So this was how I landed up into an equity research role.
Okay.
And actually, because of my CA background, because of my MBA background, my CA background helped me in understanding financial statements reasonably well. That is one core skill of equity research. My MBA background allowed me to understand business and business strategy very well. What is the moat of a business, whether it's a value strategy or a volume strategy, how do you go to new markets, how do you expand geographically or into a new product segment, whether this makes sense or this does not make sense. These were the things that I was, I had come across in my MBA program. So
Right.
equipped with these two, I think I was, decently equipped to enter investment role. That's how I got into my equity research role.
Right. Matlab, you had the CA background and like MBA helped you like you understand businesses and all how should a business
Correct.
progress or what's the intention behind doing anything, no? So that these
Absolutely.
two things help you like you were at the right time, right place, and these two backgrounds helped you like okay, go now. It's time to expand more on this base. So great points.
Correct.
So I
Correct.
have a
Correct.
question now. Does anyone else is working in your family in like equity research and all?
Yeah.
I will
So
tell you. I will
basically,
tell you why I asked this question. Anyone else is
sure,
working?
sure, sure, sure,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, yeah. So of course, the first thing that you mentioned, the right time at the right place. I think yes, that's something. I mean, of course, definitely, fortune always has a role. But I mean, if you work sufficiently hard, if you put in the right effort, I feel that fortune will somehow provide you the right opportunities. The right doors will open, open to you, and then it is for you to go grab those opportunities.
Right.
But I think your job is to just put your head down and work hard, and the right opportunities will come to you sooner or later. Maybe sometimes it will take time, sometimes it will come very soon, but the right opportunities will come. That's my very strong belief. About your second point, yes. My father did have an equity research background, so of course he's a taxation professional, but he was always very active in on the equity side as well, and you know, he has been very active in the capital markets right from the 1990s. And I think that did have an influence on me, entering equity research as well, because I had seen stock market discussions happen, at my house right from my childhood days. So I was aware of, the importance of the stock markets, uh, because having seen them very closely right throughout my life.
Right.
So that definitely did play a role. And of course, I had discussions with my family members about careers in stock markets. So that way, yeah, definitely I had an added advantage that I had the right guidance as far as equity career was concerned. Having said that, in spite of having seen equities closely, that was not my de facto choice. As a career, it will happen to me more, because I was at the right place at the right time,
Okay.
and that's how I happened to come back to an equity research career. Maybe if I wasn't here, I would be a strategy consultant doing completely different from what some of the other people in my family or some of the other people I knew are doing. But life had plans, and yes, I
Right.
am doing equity research.
Right, right. So now we can finally say that Neil is completely following his family tradition. No, no, no doubts, guys. Okay, so I want to discuss 2 points here. Now, Neil said that you should be very open-minded about career, because when you are graduating from a college and looking for opportunities, industry is dynamic. The roles change, the companies change, but uh, you get the good opportunity and you put in the hard work and the extra work. Hard work, most of the people are doing, but the person who does extra gets the extra. No? So the people who are doing extra work gets the good thing. So plan A, plan B, plan C, I like that part. You should be having plan A, plan B, plan C, not just stick on one part. Like I talked with so many people and they say I just want to enter in equity research, equity research, equity. What's the plan B? What's the plan C? If you didn't get equity research, what will you do? You should be having a plan B and C. So great point, Need. And like I just want to add one more point, guys. Whatever we are discussing now, we are discussing from our point of view. Matlab, Neil is guiding whatever his understanding is. Some things might deviate from these areas. No? So exercise your own discretion as well, and will not talk much about the company specific, because companies has their privacy policy, compliance, and all. So we'll cover as an industry broadly. Now, we'll talk about AMC. Okay, so Neil, you just said that CA and MBA are good. Now, why CFA? Now, why CFA? I'm just still trying to figure out. You have CA, MBA, and then why CFA?
So actually I've done just so of course that I think I had the same question in mind, and I have only given level one of my exam because again, so I have just done level one of my CFA, and after that, again, it's the same thing that you know the question came to me as well whether I really want to do a level two or level three, and I felt that after a CA and MBA, I didn't have that requirement of completing my level two and level three, so I have not given my level two and level three exams. And CFA level one was something that I had done before my MBA. So at that point of time, I did not know whether I would do an MBA or not, and hence I was open to to pursuing a CFA. Having said that, so once I was done with my CA and my MBA and level one of my CFA, I did not feel the need to give level two and level three, and hence I have not pursued level two and level three because most of course, CFA, from a technical standpoint, I think is the most in-depth out of the three degrees as far as core finance, core equity research, core portfolio management is concerned. So I would highly recommend everybody who's doesn't have a background in finance to explore the CFA option. At least have a look at the course curriculum, and if it feel the need to, and if you feel the program is right, then go ahead and do it. But having
Right.
CA and MBA, which gave me the to a certain extent the depth as well as the breadth, I did not feel the need to pursue a CFA.
Neil,
Of course, there were
I
certain
will give
things.
you a reason to pursue CFA, level 2 and level 3. So, okay, we are just slightly deviating from the main topic now. Neil, I have an open question now. Ki, what do you think? What's the strength of give me two strengths of CFA. What do you think? Just random.
See, now, from my limited understanding of the program, I feel that topics like the quantitative aspects, the portfolio management aspects, and even in the other topics like equities, alternate investments, the kind of depth that the CFA program teaches you, and MBA program will not give you that depth. For in my case, I had the kind of depth in CA and the width in the MBA program, and hence I got that coverage, the best of both worlds.
Great.
However, if you are only doing an MBA program, then most likely you will not get the kind of depth that is part of a CFA program. And again, doing only a CA program, of course, the kind of international recognition that a CFA program provides will be kind of lacking to you. Although I would say that about 70 to 80% of what the CFA teaches is also taught in the CA program. So there is a significant overlap, but the kind of international credibility that you get because of a CFA is something that gets you above and beyond the CA program. And for the MBA, I've already mentioned that MBA is, width focused and not depth focused. So the CFA will give you the depth if you're looking for a hardcore equity research, portfolio management kind of role, where on a daily basis you have to, look at the alpha, beta of your portfolios. You have to, look at CAPM. You have to look at various, technical aspects of of a particular security or a particular portfolio. Probably MBA will equip you to do the broad kind of stuff, but not the very detailed kind of stuff.
Right. From my understanding, whatever I have learned or experienced during my CFA journey, na, there are two very crucial thing about CFA. First of all, the syllabus
Sure,
is
sure.
very
I would love to learn from you.
yeah. That's why I am
Yeah,
calling
yeah,
right now.
absolutely.
So the curriculum is very vast. I studied from my own. I didn't take any tuition and all. So it was very
Correct.
like I enjoyed the curriculum. Literally, I enjoyed the
Hmm.
curriculum. I explored some of the parts like economics. I studied economics from Khan Academy as well because I liked economics in the curriculum. So I explored it in Khan Academy
Correct.
as well. So the curriculum is very powerful, but one of the core strength of CFA that most people miss is like networking. CFA provide you a lot of networking opportunities. We have a global network of people, global network now. So, all the people, like most of the people who are at the top position in the industry are part of CFA network. So you are getting the
Correct.
advantage of this network. If you have this powerful network now, and one of the person, I mean, earlier what I used to do now, whenever I connect with people on LinkedIn, now, I just type a simple message key. Okay, what is the one key thing you are looking in your life which will help you propel your career now? So one of the girl, like she was working in JP Morgan now, she said it's not how much you know, it's about who you know. So in finance industry literally it means like आप कितना जानते हो वो ठीक है, बट आप किस किस को जानते हो
Very
ये
true.
बहुत मैटर करता है. सो सीएफए की स्ट्रेंथ है उसकी
Absolutely.
एजुकेशन बहुत पावरफुल, बट नेटवर्क उससे भी ज्यादा 10x पावरफुल. एंड मैं
Hmm.
50-60% people miss this. They just
Very
focus
true.
on the curriculum and they do not ever talk about networking part.
Hmm.
So guys, focus on networking as well. It will help you shine in your career. So Neil, back to you. So Neil, you are working like in
Correct, correct, correct.
one of the
But
top most.
yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
just just to add,
yeah. Please.
sure, sure. Just to add one more point, I think uh, it's a very relevant point that you have highlighted because you know MBA also provides you a very good networking opportunities. But as far as the CFA is concerned, the kind of very role-specific networking opportunities, as far as equity research, portfolio management, these kind of roles are concerned, I think the CFA is a very specific and a very niche platform, where you can do networking very focused on these kind of roles. So that's one thing which the CFA benefits from its very specific nature, which an MBA may not be able to provide you.
Right.
I think very true.
And the curriculum of CFA is very agile. They adapt very fast. If there is something new in the industry, they might be building
Right.
something on it. So these are the powers of CFA. So back to you, Neil.
Correct.
So we are working in a very dynamic times, like fast, rapidly changing times. So what technical and analytical skills are the most crucial for someone who is working in the industry or aspiring to work in the industry, from a professional standpoint as you are working in the industry? So what are the technical and analytical skills?
I think, again, I strongly agree with you that times are changing very fast. We live in the times of artificial intelligence. We live in the times of Chat GPT and Copilot, and these these basically large language models. These are extremely capable at analyzing things that you would take days to analyze.
Right.
So I think. All white collar based industries are basically facing a huge disruption thanks to this
New
revolutionary
technology.
technology that yeah. And equity research is no exception. Equity research, portfolio management, these are no exceptions. Like any other white collar job, any other knowledge based job, any other database job, these are also under direct attack from AI. And in this day and age, I think if you are stagnating if you are basically stagnant in terms of your skill sets, in terms of your learning, then you are in for tough times because this is not the time 20 years earlier कि सिर्फ balance sheet पढ़ना था. you know Basically only knowing financial ratios and balance sheet and analyzing these very well would give you a big edge over your competition because very few people could do this very well at that point of time. I think these were very good enough to take you much ahead of your competition. in an equity research career maybe 20 years back. But today, everybody has access to money control. Everybody has access to Economic Times, to ChatGPT, to Copilot. There are many other databases also. There are websites like Screener. So you have information at the tip, at the tip of your fingers.
Right.
There, in fact, this is a time of information overload. So I think the focus should be rather than more of your traditional skills. Like, of course, those will give you a starting point. Without them, you can't enter the industry. Like
Right.
analyzing financial statement, understanding businesses, understanding business dynamics. Those will give you a basic entry into the field. But to stay relevant in this competitive time, I think the most important skill that you should have is to be agile and to be open to learning each day. So whether it is coding, if you have free time, you start to learn the basics of coding. You be on top of all these artificial intelligence models, how to operate with them, analyze basically analyze data with the help of these models.
AI tools.
And yeah, and another key skill set is actually to avoid all the noise, because there is information thrown at you from so many different sources. I mean, it's very the key skill set is to filter information from all these sources and to come to a conclusion, come to a deduction, come to a thesis. Ki bhai, I have 10 different information points in front of me. Now, what is the actionable that I have to do?
Right.
What is the action that I have to take up from all the information that is in front of me? So for that, I think the right understanding of tools. Uh, at the same time, learning to ignore the noise, learning to ignore which information source is more reliable, which information source is less reliable. Uh, those are, I think, very
Got the
key
point.
skill sets
Yeah.
to help you survive in the
Yeah.
long term.
Yeah.
Of
You
course, your
just,
core
yeah.
skill sets, जो पहले की skill sets थी in terms of being very good at Excel, being very good at uh, analyzing spreadsheets and working with large data sets in Excel. All those are still relevant, but increasingly things are becoming automated, things are becoming outsourced. So you
Right.
have to move to a higher skill set plane right now.
Right. So 2 points I'll mention. That is that key deriving something meaningful out of the data. Data is everywhere. Now, what you will do with the data, that is the thing, important thing. Na? What you are going to do with that data. And second is learning to ignore noise because you are matlab, just for a moment you open your social media, na? There are information, news like XYZ, XYZ. So how you ignore this all kind of noises? Great points, na? So what's your take on AI and data analysis? So, matlab, I know I heard some of the CTO of Bajaj in one of the AI and finance conference of CFA in Pune. So he said ki these kind of AMCs are integrating AI in almost every arena. Matlab 50-60% of the work which can be automated is already automated. Like, so they are very fast, very agile, and integrating AI in all the aspects. So where you feel, matlab, what kind of AI tools a equity research analyst is using, or the people who are watching this podcast should be using, so that their work becomes easy and they get meaningful insights from the data. Yeah. Any specific thing?
Right. Uh, so see, as far as very specific tools are concerned, there are uh, certain equity research, very focused, kind of AI interfaces that you could use. However, having said that, I am not really using any AI, any equity research focused AI platforms as of now. I stick to the more generalist platforms,
Okay.
whether that is Copilot, ChatGPT, or you have Grok from Twitter, whatever you're using, whatever you are more comfortable with. Each has their own strengths, weaknesses, pros, cons. Some, each LLM excels at certain functions and is slightly weaker than the competition at certain functions. But I think it's more important as to what are you using it for rather than which tool you're using. Basically, you should be very clear in your mind what is your end goal. See, the AI cannot take the decision for you. The decision has the good thing about human experience is that that experience still allows you to be the decision maker. AI can crunch data for you, but there are black swan events which AI cannot identify. There are certain past trends that AI can analyze, but there is a certain human experience that that AI will still take time to come to the level of. Um, so basically, now you have to uh, kind of figure out that what are the functions that AI can
Right.
be adept at. So for example, if you have very large documents, you want to extract certain information from those documents.
Right.
Earlier, in 20 years earlier, we had to manually go through printouts of those documents. Uh, for the past 10 years, we can do a control F and search for certain keywords in the document, and that has kind of simplified the process and accelerated the process for us.
Right.
But with AI, you don't even need to do that. For a 200 page annual report, if you do a control F for a particular word, you will still find 65 different references in the entire
Right.
report. That you will still spend a 15 minutes trying to figure out what you want. So rather you instruct the AI tool to extract that information from you. There are certain times that the AI will not give you very exact information, but most of the times it will give you good information. You can ask the AI tool for good business summaries. Summarize what the annual report, what the management commentary is saying, whether the sentiment in the management commentary is positive or negative, brief understanding of the business model,
Right.
try to understand some of the competitor business models. These are the things, summarization, uh, explaining it in a very simple form like it is done to a 5-year-old, extracting information. These are the tools that AI can do very well for you. So, I mean, these help you hasten the equity research process. So, a
Right.
DRHP document, which is 200, 300 pages long, rather than analyzing it painstakingly page by page, you upload it to an AI program and, ask it to scan relevant, whatever tidbits you want or whatever your objective is from that AI tool. That is how you use it, and that is how you basically accelerate your research process. What was
Right.
earlier taking, let's say, if analyzing a security took you 4 or 5 days earlier, that probably that time can be halved, or you can do it in one third the time with the help of AI tools, because the grunt work, compiling, summarizing, all that can be outsourced very easily.
Right.
So it's
It
it's
saves a lot of time, in short. Right.
saves a lot of time, more than the tool that you're using. Identify for what purpose you are using AI, and
Right.
for uh, whatever is a lower or intermediate kind of purpose, you outsource your work to AI as much as possible.
Okay, got the point. So, my next question is relevant to related to your work profile. No? So, what are the top three perks of being an equity research analyst? What do you like most?
See,
Except
the
paisa.
I think I think पैसा तो ठीक है. See, if you work hard in any profession, I think you will be rewarded appropriately. You will progress and you will get the compensation that you deserve.
Right.
Whether it's equity research, whether it's strategy, whether it's marketing, whether it's HR, I think no profession is inferior to the other, and you can do well in each one. Having said that, yeah, you are at the end of the day, equity research allows you to invest money, and the the I think the fastest way of getting rich is not through some kind of lottery, not some kind of scheme. I think investing money in businesses is the only sure short way of creating big wealth. Um, I
Right.
think and equity research is not just a career skill, it is a life skill, because it allows me to it allows me or anybody to identify good businesses and you know uh, accompany these businesses on their business journey
Right.
for the next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, or 5 years, whatever the time horizon is, and create wealth for myself. I think that is the biggest benefit that an equity research career provides, which I
Right.
think none of the other careers provide. So I
Okay.
think even if you work in an equity research role, you work as a fund manager for a fund, uh, or if you work on, yeah, I mean, 15 years down the line, once you've retired from your career, this skill will always stay with you till the end of your life. You can
Right.
always just open your laptop. You can always just call somebody and understand a good business. And if you happen to find a business which has not been discovered by the market, you take a good position in that business and you make big money. You just
Right.
just watch that business grow big in front of your eyes and make massive money.
Great.
So I think,
Yeah,
yeah, that is
you said ki equity research is like a life skill. Whatever you do after it, it will always benefit you in immense ways. Great point. So what are the challenges?
so.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
challenges as well because
uh,
people see only the sweet things. Yeah,
sure. Is that you know, you have to understand very different businesses, different business models. So the learning curve is very steep, I think, in equity research. Of course, and eventually, as an analyst, you have to master different sectors. So you're not limited to one sector. So that's a difficult skill to master. Secondly, is of course the dynamic and agile nature of you know markets. Uh, like I mentioned, things changing rapidly in terms of regulation on the regulatory front. On the geopolitical front, there are wars, conflicts happening every day. There is a war. There is a new war being started every few months.
right.
Uh, there are international developments happening. There are demographic changes happening in countries all the time. There are social changes, cultural changes happening all the time. So you have to be there, and of course, most importantly, technological changes. What is relevant today may not be relevant tomorrow. As far as businesses are concerned, a business doing well today does not mean that it will do well for for the next 20 years or for the next 15 years. So things change very quickly in the markets. You have to be on your toes. You have to be up to date. You have to keep refining, enhancing your knowledge, your understanding of the company's businesses every single day. And the third challenge of equity research is that it is a high responsibility and a high stress job. uh, you are managing public money at the end of the day, whether it belongs to an HNI, it belongs to a UHNI, it belongs to a retail investor, whether you are part of a sell side broking firm advising clients, whether you're a mutual fund managing public money, whether you are a PMS managing high net worth money, or you are AIF managing, super HNI money. Each of these uh,
Exactly.
involves the wealth of people. I mean, people will forgive you for selling you a bad product. They will not come to, they will not buy a bad product from you. But when it comes to people's money, uh, I mean,
Very high.
people are most sensitive about their money,
Right.
and nobody would tolerate the fact that their capital is eroded or their money is lost in front of their eyes. Nobody would like that. Everybody wants to be richer. Everybody wants to create more wealth. Everybody values their money, hugely. So it's a high responsibility, it's a high stress job, and the gratification is oftentimes instant. There are days when your top recommendation would be down 10% or 20%. Your top recommendation would face a lower circuit, and there is a question mark on your recommendation. People are questioning your ability to identify good stocks. There could be, you have done your due diligence with a company, but a certain scam is unearthed, and you
Right.
know,
Right.
in spite of all the due diligence that you do, there is something that you could always miss.
Yeah.
I mean, it's there is only lim there's only a limited set of things that a investor from outside can identify and highlight. And of course, with there are time frame restrictions, and you're constantly on the treadmill trying to find new investment opportunities. An accident can happen all the time. There is always a scope for that. So these are things that that really test your conviction, that really test your uh, temperament as a equity research professional, and these are part and parcel of the journey. I think you have to learn to live with those. You have to have a I mean, you have to develop a temperament to to face these kinds of situations, this kind of volatility every day in the markets. So these are things that you have to be prepared for. I mean, something can come up at 12 in the night, a new announcement can come up. Let's say demonetization one was announced at
Right.
8:30,
8
9,
p.m.
9 p.m., and next day you saw what happened to the markets when the COVID lockdown was announced. You saw what happened to the markets next day.
Right.
So you have to be prepared to analyze all these things and take decisions with a very cool and calm mind after analyzing these things. And at crunch times, it could be 12 in the night, it could be at 7 a.m. in the morning when you're doing this kind of analysis. And you can't be taking very, panicky decisions. You have to keep your cool.
Right. It's like a 24 by 7 at work. Equity risk analyst is 24 by 7 at work, whether he's at home or
Absolutely.
he's at office. Right.
Absolutely.
Right. So we are just about to wrap up this session. The last question is, okay, now the floor is yours. Just talk to the audience and give any message you want to give with your experience till now. Most of the people are young professionals who are working in the industry, who are aspiring to transition in the equity research and all. So open to you guys. Yeah, please.
See, from the limited understanding of equity markets of the world and of careers that I have, and of course, I am also learning each day. Each day is a new experience and a new, each day brings a new takeaway for me as well. But from the limited understanding of the world that I have, my only thing is that, firstly, is I think whatever profession you want to pursue, whatever career you want to pursue, whatever business you want to set up, I think there is no escaping the fact that you have to work hard and you have to work smart. When I say working hard, that means it's a very competitive world. There are 7 billion people on the planet, and there are 140 crore Indians. Every single person is aspiring to, improve their lives. We are all part of a treadmill, and we are all trying to, learn something new, improve our lives every single day. So, what is the edge that you bring over all the other people who are also, uh, in the market? So you have to go the extra mile. You have to work hard. You have to, put in the extra hours, the extra rigor. If you have to be a step above the competition, that's the only way you can grab those because good opportunities will always be few. There will always be a demand supply mismatch, and not everybody will get those good opportunities. So you have to go grab them, and for them you have to be prepared. You have to be planned. Second thing is smart work. Like I said, it's a very fast changing world. The you know whether it's AI tools, whether it's something new, whether it's new businesses, new technologies, new wars, new conflicts, things are evolving every single day. Never ever rest on your laurels. Never ever feel that I have enough understanding, enough knowledge of the world. I think you never have enough knowledge of the world. You can never, every day is a new experience. So you always unlearn, relearn, never be biased from your past. I mean, experience does benefit you in the long term, but don't, uh, the baggage of experience cloud you that aisa hi hota hai, ya, this is the way it's done, and there
Right.
can be no new way. Disruptions are always around the corner. Be prepared for them. That's one skill set. The second message that I would like to, give to viewers is that, while deciding career options, there is a very strong tendency to get carried away, uh, by the decisions and by what people are doing around us. you know, there are careers which are glamorous. So everybody, when the first day of my MBA started, everybody wanted to become a management consultant or an investment banker. Everybody wanted to land a job at McKinsey or JP Morgan. But I think of course, these roles appear glamorous to you on the outside,
Right.
but you have to go beyond the glamour of the roles and the flashy salary numbers that these offer. You have to, align it with your skill sets and your objectives. Firstly, I think everybody should, take a piece of paper, pen, or an Excel sheet and do an introspection reflection as to what they want to achieve in their career. What are their monetary goals? What are their personal goals? What would they be satisfied with in their lives? What is their objective? Do they want to solve a business problem? Do they want to contribute to, the lives of others? Uh, is money the only objective? You have to decide for yourself,
Right.
and based on what you decide for yourself, then you choose a career based on also the kind of skill set that you have. So of course, objective is one thing, skill set is another. If you don't have a skill set for consulting or investment banking, and you are hell bent to be an investment banker or consultant, you even if you become one, you will end up becoming a very bad consultant or bad investment banker. Similarly for other professions. So align it with your skill set and strengths. You choose a career. Uh, I think, of course, money is required, but at the same time, I think job satisfaction, uh, compensation, monetary benefits are important. Job satisfaction is important. Whether you can excel at something, you have to evaluate that also. Keep that in mind while deciding a career, and then take a call, basically.
Right.
Uh, I
Very
think
true.
these, and at the same time, don't. I mean, uh, the capitalist world, sometimes forces us to become all, part of that rat race. Sometimes just take a breather, enjoy life. I think it's important to work hard. It's important to run after certain goals, but don't make it an obsession and don't stop living to chase your goals. कि बस
Right.
मैंने जब तक एक गोल अचीव कर लिया तब तक मैं कुछ और नहीं करूंगा. I think don't be obsessed. I think there are times in life when you have to work hard. There are 2 month period. There are certain there is a 1 week period wherein you have to stay awake every night. There are a couple of months where you'll have to work really hard in life. But I think it's always important once in a while to take a chill pill, to take a breather, go enjoy life, travel, see the world, spend time with your relatives, friends. And I think that's the purpose of life also, to come,
Yeah.
you're on this planet to have fun, enjoy life as well. So do that as well and
Yeah.
find a purpose to your life.
Yeah, wonderful points. So I will summarize rapidly. He said competitive advantage. You need to find that what is your competitive advantage in this world and analyze your life. Very few people do it. Like uh, pick, pick a pen and notebook, like start writing what I actually want to do and introspect on your career. Like I have done this exercise few months back, like from the childhood till this day, what I have done in my life and what is my strength where I can excel. These kind of things are very crucial and ये छोटे छोटे डिफरेंस है ना जो आपको लाइफ में बहुत एक्स्ट्रा रिजल्ट ला के देते हैं. एंड देन लाइक जॉब सेटिस्फैक्शन मॉनेटरी कंपैरिजन और लाइक कॉम्पिटिटिव वर्ल्ड है कैपिटलिस्टिक वर्ल्ड है. आप किस चीज से सेटिस्फाई होते हो फोकस ऑन दैट एज वेल ना. सो दुनिया में बहुत सारी चीजें करने को है. नील ने तो काफी दिल खोल के सारी चीजें बताई हैं. सो थैंक्स टू यू नील एंड लाइक आपने इतने ऑनेस्ट ऑथेंटिक रिस्पॉन्स दिए. And what we'll do, we'll try to have you one more time on for our community. We'll do a session on industry analysis, now how to understand any industry. Now, so the people who are part of our community will bring Neil for a exclusive session for you guys. If you are not part of our community, inquire now and get in touch with us. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining in this podcast. Thank you so much. Thank you, Neil. Yeah,
Thank you
we'll
so much,
connect
Prince.
about that. Yeah,
Thanks for having me, and it was wonderful talking to you, or you know everything that we discussed.
yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Sure.